Hey guys, and welcome to Wrestling Days. So I've been thinking a lot about WrestleMania 32 and with so many top stars out, top tier talent, how's the card going to come together? There's a few rumours, there's a few matches that look like they're pretty much set for WrestleMania 32, but I was thinking if I could book anything using the current roster, then what is it that I would do to make WrestleMania 32 the most appealing card that I could think of. So sit back, relax, hopefully you'll enjoy some of my suggestions even if you don't necessarily agree with them all, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments afterwards. So first match is on the pre-show, and this would be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now I would make this for the US title. I think that it needs to have a little bit more extra flair to it than it just be what we've seen in the years previous, and I think making it for the US title would just give it that little bit extra. Putting it on the pre-show would hopefully engage those that are still on the fence as to whether to subscribe to the network or buy the pay-per-view outright. And I think this would be fast-paced. I think it would be exciting. It would have the added drama of it being for the US title. You'll have to excuse me because I've written down all the 20 participants that I would have in this, so I'm just going to read those out. So in this, Kalisto, and I would have Kalisto as the champion. I think that, give him a good run. I think we're 50 odd days away now from WrestleMania. I think he could have a good run with the title, a few good strong defences of the title between now and WrestleMania. So I would keep the belt on Kalisto. So Kalisto's in. I would also have the League of Nations. So that would be Del Rio, that would be Rusev, King Barrett and Sheamus. I would also have the Social Outcasts. So that would be Heath Slater, Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, Curtis Axel, Big Show and Neville, Titus O'Neil, Stardust, Tyler Breeze, Ryback, R-Truth, Goldust, and then come a couple of big names. I would have Jericho and I would have Dolph Ziggler. Real shame that he doesn't get a singles match in my fantasy card. I would love for him to get a singles match at WrestleMania, but I'm sure, as you'll see from the rest of this video, the card is pretty stacked. So unfortunately he misses out this year. And then I'd also have someone from NXT. They did it last year with Hideo Itami. This year I think I would go with Baron Corbin. I think WWE have got a lack of heels, and we'll talk about this more throughout the video. Certainly big heels, and Baron Corbin I think is definitely one for the future. I would look to just introduce him to the universe, or the wider universe now, and I would have him really heel it up, maybe cheat to eliminate some people from this. Maybe he's been eliminated and he comes back and eliminates a few people, makes a bit of a mark on the match itself. Winner for this, I would have to go with King Barrett. Again, similar as what I've just said, they need heels. Barrett's already on the roster. He's already achieved a number of accomplishments. I think that him winning the King of the Ring didn't do anything for him. Hopefully winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania for the US title might just be something that he can run with and do something with. So then on to WrestleMania itself. So first match on the card, I want this to be fast paced. I want it to have a couple of fan favourites in it. I want it to really help continue to set the tone of this WrestleMania. That's why I've gone with AJ Styles against Kevin Owens. I think this could be a fantastic match in-ring wise. I just think it would be a fascinating one to watch. I'm almost certain these guys have met in the ring before, but obviously never on the grandest stage of them all. I would have AJ Styles picking up the victory here. I think AJ Styles is a future World Heavyweight Champion, and I think to give him the victory over Kevin Owens in what would hopefully be a hard-fought match, similar to what we've just seen with Owens Ambrose at the Royal Rumble, then I think that would benefit AJ, and hopefully then he's competing for the title come the end of the year. Next match is a ladder match, and it's a ladder match for the Divas title. not seen the Divas in a ladder match before, but there is so much talent on the roster at the moment that I think if you just go with a normal one-on-one, then you're missing out just a lot of really big names. Can't afford to do that, and I think that a ladder match kind of suits this purpose the best. You can't do a battle royal because it's already been done earlier in the night. I would have Charlotte as the champion. I think that keep this run going for her. Whatever they do at Fastlane, which looks like it will be a Charlotte Brie Bella match, seems to be kind of hinting that way, or maybe Charlotte, Brie and Becky, but it looks like Sasha and Becky are going to be going against Naomi and Tamina at Fastlane. So I think it'll just be Charlotte Brie. I think you keep the title on Charlotte. She goes to WrestleMania, goes into this ladder match where she faces Paige, Becky Lynch, Tamina, Sasha, Naomi, Brie Bella, and Natalya. It means Alicia Fox misses out, which is a bit of a shame, but she could be in Brie's corner. But I think all of those have got the ability to work in the ring, and I think that this would just keep that momentum going. A ladder match for the Divas title. Winner, I wouldn't give it to Sasha. I think it's too soon. I would give it Paige. The reason that I'd give it Paige is because, not just because she's from the UK, but because she's not had the Divas title for a while. She's one of the stronger female wrestlers in the ring. She's obviously just done that film, Santa's Little Helper. I heard that her Mattel figure is the best-selling female wrestling Mattel figure at the moment. So she's still shifting the merchandise. I think that she has her third run with the belt at WrestleMania, and then I think that NXT pack of Charlotte, Becky, Sasha are all bubbling underneath to try and take it away from her. Plus also they could do something interesting with this Paige-Natalya relationship that's suddenly sprung up out of nowhere. Now that's a lot of action. I really would give the Battle Royal time to breathe on the pre-show. I would give AJ Owens time to breathe. The ladder match is not going to be a quick event by any means. So I would look to close the first part of the show now. And I would do it with the Undertaker match. Now that's going to be a surprise for a lot of people because Undertaker is always near the top of the card. But you'll see that I've got some big names that are still to come. So I would close this first section with The Undertaker. His opponent, I think, needs to be someone that is new, needs to be a fresh face. I was really tempted to put AJ Styles into this because to the WWE universe, he is new and fresh-faced. And I think it could be fascinating to see AJ against The Undertaker. I've not gone that way because instead I want to see the Demon go against the Dead Man. And so I've gone with Finn Balor. I think the entrances for these two could be fantastic. I wouldn't want to see a repeat of last year where it's done in the daytime. It needs to be nighttime at this point. And if it's not nighttime by this point, I would look to move it later in the card. Undertaker's entrance is legendary. Finn Balor is one for the future. He could be the face of the industry in a few years' time. I think a win over The Undertaker at WrestleMania would massively help. So I've got Balor going over The Undertaker to finish the first part of WrestleMania 32. So the second part of WrestleMania 32 is going to kick off with the Beast incarnate. Now he's a bona fide headliner, but WWE just aren't going in that direction. We already know that Triple H is in the main event, and we already know that Brock Lesnar's going to be facing Wyatt at WrestleMania. Don't think there's much I can do about that, so I've had to go with Brock versus Bray. It's not what I would like to pick, but it looks like it's so obvious that there's no point going with anything else. So I've gone with Brock versus Bray, and on this one I've got Bray winning. Now I think that Bray needs some victories. He can't keep losing He's just a jobber. He's just the best jobber on the WWE roster at the moment. So I've got Bray winning. Now, how does Bray beat Brock? I think what's going to have to happen here is it feels like there would need to be interference. I would hate to see that happen because I think it's a cop-out. So I've got an alternative way of booking this. I think that Bray needs to bring someone new into the Wyatt family, and I think this person is going to be the missing piece, and I think that he needs to talk about this person being the missing piece, and whenever this person is around, Bray just absorbs pain, very much like the Undertaker did with the urn in the early days. It's just a repeat of that gimmick, but it would explain as to why Bray's not been successful to this point. But now, with this person in his corner, he can even slay the beast. Brock Lesnar's victory over Undertaker needs to be for a purpose, and it set Brock up as a massive, massive unstoppable force. Well, what happens if Bray Wyatt stops that force? And what happens if Bray Wyatt stops that force because he has Sister Abigail in his corner? Next up, I've got tag team titles, and so it's the New Day against the Usos and going up against the Wyatts. Now, the Wyatts wouldn't include Bray because obviously he's just had his match, so it'd be Braun Strowman, it'd be Eric Rowan, and it'd be Luke Harper. The Usos, though, it's only two guys, it's Jimmy and Jay. On the night, out comes The Rock. We know he's going to be there anyway, massive pop. I think The Rock could take a couple of bumps in the ring. I think that he could be outside the ring injured for quite a while, but it's still not going to take away that moment of The Rock coming out, helping family, as he likes to say. I have the Wyatts winning this one. I would like to see the tag belts on the Wyatts. Again, put a rocket on them, push them forward. And now that brings us to the final two headline matches. I've got Cena in this match. I'm not a huge Cena fan, but I do respect what he achieved last year in particular with the US Open Challenge. I've got Cena returning as a heel, and I've got him going up against Roman Reigns. Now, the reason I've got Cena coming back as a heel is because I think Roman Reigns is being pushed to the hilt. I think that Roman is the person that they want as the face of the company, and I think that they're going to keep pushing him. What better than to feed him John Cena, a heel John Cena? And he said he'd be happy to do it, but it's just he doesn't want to drop those Make-A-Wish commitments. Well, Roman can pick them up now. If Roman's the future face of the company, like what the company's trying to, push, well then why don't they turn Cena heel and have him lose to Roman at WrestleMania? That also solves another problem. That problem being that the majority of the WWE universe don't want to see Roman Triple H for the title. That just leaves the headline match, and I'm sure you've worked out by now that if Roman's in a match against a heel Cena, and if Brock's in a match against Bray Wyatt, that only leaves one man. The lunatic fringe, Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. Champion versus champion, just like WrestleMania 6. This would be fantastic. This would be off the chains. I think you would have lunatic mania. I think the fans would be really behind Dean on this one. He's really become a fan favourite, and it also sets it up for a WrestleMania moment. We know that Shawn Michaels is rumoured to be the referee in this match. I think Shawn continues to screw Dean with slow counts, getting distracted, so on, so on, so on. I think that the Authority do everything they can to stop Dean Ambrose from being the World Heavyweight Champion. But then the crow sounds. Out comes Sting, down to the ring, pulls Shawn Michaels out of the ring. In comes a new referee. 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is now the Intercontinental and World Heavyweight Champion. Crowd are going crazy. Triple H has been screwed over by Sting. It kind of puts to bed that rivalry, if you will. So that's how I would book WrestleMania 32. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. I'd love to know what matches you would like to see. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Wrestling Days UK. It'd be brilliant to see you over there. Obviously drop in the comments below your thoughts, and as always, I'll see you again next time.